All right, so good afternoon. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be talking about the different free lead forms that we can offer, and the different lead forms that we actually use in our business today, where we have spent no marketing, made $25,000 assignment fees, kept properties, stuff like that. Reason that I wanted to share this stuff with everybody is because at the end of the day, the best way to get started is through free leads, and some of the strongest leads and the best deals do come from the free lead sources. First and foremost, the main one that we use right now, and this is going to be I don't have a fancy slideshow that I want to share with you guys. I just want it to be very casual. I want you guys to have a pen and paper, or be typing, and I want you to take notes on the different things that I go over today, and then I want you guys to actually go and implement them. So in terms of the first thing that we use, and what's the most important one that honestly I make sure that all my acquisitionists are doing at all times, is joining different yard sale Facebook groups, right? And wherever you want to invest. And then not only by doing that, you're going to be posting in those yard sale groups in the discussions tab, right? So in the discussions tab, just go in there and post, does anybody have a house for sale? I would like to buy one, right? And all those comments that you get, those are all free leads. Out of the 30 something deals we did last year, I would say about 15 of them are how that's the exact way we got them. Nothing fancy, no other methods on top of that. The only thing that I would say you have to have coupled with that is my second free lead generation form, which is going live on Facebook and telling everybody what you do, right? By going live and telling everybody what you do, one, you're going to be able to get referrals that way. But two, when you go live on Facebook, it helps you boost your algorithm. And what is an algorithm? In Facebook, basically what they do is they look at how active you are. And if you have like a background rating on Facebook, and if Facebook views you as a very active person on their platform, they will actually push your posts to the top and make more people see it for free instead of having to pay to do that. So by going live, it'll push your posts in the yard sale group to the top. More people will see it, which means you'll get more leads, right? Now, in terms of some of the other ways in what we do, by going live and by letting them know what you do, now you're going to have people come to you. And whenever you go live, at the end of every live, you want to have what's called a call to action. You tell people what it is that you want them to do at the end of that live. So go on there, tell your story, explain them what you have going on, what you're looking for. And at the end, tell them, okay, great. If you guys find anything like this, please reach out to me, shoot me a text, shoot me a message, and send me all the details on whatever home or whatever person it is that was liking to sell. If they want to sell their home and I buy it, I'll give you $1,000 or whatever you feel is fit or within your budget at that time. The motivation for people to help you is money at the beginning. Once you get moving and people realize that they can really be a part of what you're doing, the motivation will now less turn from money to being able to be a part of what you do, and they'll want to grow with you. And that's just they continuously send you leads, right? Which leads me into my next free form, which is called getting bird dogs. So a bird dog could be anybody. It's just the label, right? So my neighbor, I tell him all the time, he's a truck driver. If you're ever out driving around in anywhere in Pennsylvania and you see a for sale by owner sign, if you see anything like that, if you drop a load off and that person says, hey, they get in a conversation and it somehow comes up, get that information and send it to me. That's a lead for me. And it's a free lead. If I make that deal, yeah, he does get $1,000, but I also got that lead for free and I was able to make a nice deal out of it. Could have made $20,000 assignment fee on it or more or less. And out of that, I paid $1,000 as a thank you for him. And now that's only going to incentivize him to bring me more, right? Biggest thing I would say is Now, I know there's some people in here that are, looking to invest from afar, but there's also people who invest in their own community. If you're looking to invest from afar, what you can do for free leads is reach out to some realtors in the area. Now, you're not going to ask these realtors to send you properties that are on the market. I personally don't do that. I don't invest like that. But what I do tell these realtors is I try and create a relationship with them, and I'll tell them, hey, look, if I ever get a lead or if I ever get a seller that, I can't do anything with, I'll send it to you. So maybe you can get a listing, right? But if you ever get a deal where maybe it's an as is sale, it needs some work and it doesn't really make sense to put it on the market, send it to me. And before you list it, and what we'll do is we'll do an exclusive listing. And it's called their pocket listings. And I will work with that seller. I'll work with you. I'll pay you a portion of your commission that you would normally get. And those are some really good leads as well. And those are actually some of the best creative leads. Why? Because that realtor already built rapport with the seller. And rapport means like built a relationship. So by building that rapport with the seller, the realtor will now introduce you as a person who potentially may want to buy. And that seller will be definitely more receptive to opening their flexibility to potentially create a financing. Now, the other thing is if you are a local investor, the best thing to do is get involved some way in your own community, whether that's by hosting a meetup, having people come, by getting familiar and friendly with the neighbors, whatever that may look like, right? So in terms of what I do, how I get leads in Philadelphia and even in my own personal neighborhood, I just make friends with the neighbors. Everybody, there's no reason why, one, you shouldn't be friends with your neighbors, and two, where it'll help you get your word out faster, right? All these people have mouths and the word will spread quicker. For example, a gentleman reached out to me, said that he heard that I was buying houses in the area, and he heard it from my neighbor, different neighbor than the guy that drives the trucks. And the gentleman said, hey, I have a 6-unit building here in Philadelphia. I'd love to talk with you about it. We get to talk and we go meet him. Now we're in the process of talking about a seller financing offer on it. Free lead, just from telling people what we do and being a part of the community. Another great part about being a part of your community. My tenant upstairs, we live in a duplex, is a pastor at a local church here in Philadelphia. And he wants us to go speak to all the board members of the church about some different real estate options. But what that did, by doing that, it opened up doors for me and Jay, and now let everybody in the community know what we are doing and what we're looking for, because we were able to talk about that. From that, we've also gotten some leads, and we've gotten some deals from that as well. So that being, what do you do is be part of your community. Now, I don't know if any of you, or all of you, have PropStream, but this one is a little bit more in depth. It's technically a free lead source, even though you do pay for PropStream. But if you don't have PropStream, reach out to somebody who does, maybe give them a few bucks, and they'll allow you to use their PropStream account. When you go on PropStream, you're going to go to the filters. This is straight up how you find really good leads. Go to whatever market you're in. Let's just say it's, I don't know, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'll just use mine. I'm going to go to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm going to go to filters. And then I am going to go to, you can do one of two things. You can do expired listings or on market. I'm going to start with the on market, and then I'll go to expired. On market, you're going to go to the MLS tab or filter drop down. You're going to type in on market, and then you're going to click the for sale button, because there's 3. It says for sale, for rent, or any. You're going to click for sale. From there, you're going to put on market days, 45 days minimum. So at least a month and a half it's been sitting. The seller's starting to get antsy. They're wondering why their house isn't selling, so on and so forth. Then from there, you're going to go to ownership info. You're going to put in ownership info, just leave the minimum as 0, and you're going to put maximum of 3 years. So you don't want them to own their house for more than 3 years. And now the reason being is you're going to be targeting people for a creative finance deal. That's why. From there, what you're going to do is you're also going to click ownership type, and it's going to say there'll be a drop down and it'll say a bunch of different ones, LLC, corporation. You're going to click individual. You only want to deal with people on the market who own their home as a person, have a normal loan. Lastly, you're going to go down to valuation info, and you're going to put equity percentage, a max of 10%. So you don't want them to have more than 10% equity in their property. From there, it's going to narrow it down. There may only be in your town or in your city or wherever you invest, there may only be 10 of them. But those 10 are properties that people are motivated to sell. They just bought their house, which means they have a high balance on their mortgage, right? Because we put the equity percentage in there, and it hasn't been able to sell. So what can we offer as creative finance investors? We can go in there and we can make that offer and reach out to the realtor and just ask them if seller financing or terms would be something that their client would be open to doing. And that's for the on-market deals, right? And those are free. They're definitely harder to get because you have a realtor involved, but you still can make deals that way. We have made one before. And again, the realtor was involved, but they were a little bit more open and savvy. Now, my favorite method for free leads outside of leveraging social media is the other. Everything that I just told you guys, it stays the same, except you're going to do two different things. Instead of clicking on market, you're going to click expired or failed. The prop stream says failed, expired is the same thing. You're going to do 60 days on market minimum. And then from there, you're going to see what pops up. Those are all the expired listings for people in the past, in the general vicinity of the past few years that have owned their homes for less than 3, who had their house on the market for 60 days and couldn't sell. And they have little to no equity. So for a subject to deal, it's a no equity expired listing. And those people have never probably gotten the offer of seller financing or subject to. So if you guys know how to pitch seller financing or be able to ask them the correct questions to get there, then those are great leads to work on. We went over 5 different lead forms so far. For lead form number 6, this one, it's old school. I'm sure you guys probably all use it, but Facebook Marketplace. You're going to go to whatever town you're in. You're going to go to Facebook Marketplace. You're going to go to homes for sale. And then you're going to filter by newest to oldest. And you're going to go to the oldest listings, right? Once you go to the oldest listings, start reaching out to the sellers. Those are super motivated people that haven't been able to sell. And what you would like to look for, right? It's calculated. You're not just going to go and shotgun blast every single oldest listing. You're going to look for the oldest listings that have the crappiest pictures and the worst descriptions. Those are the best ones to reach out to, because those are sellers who don't care. They probably don't really have any emotional attachment to the property, so they'd be more open to giving you a good deal. And the reason that they're still there is probably because no one who reached out, if anybody even did, was on top of these sellers. These sellers are people who don't care. So that means that you're going to have to be a little bit more aggressive in your approach. They may not answer you the first time, second time, third time, but eventually they will. And when they do, you will probably be the first person that they've talked to, right? And we actually got a deal from doing this. We got a deal, I think that was about 6-7 months ago. We put it under contract. We turned it into a rent to own. And we bought this one subject to. Unfortunately, it didn't work out with the tenant buyer. We had to evict them. From there, we put money into it and threw it on the market and got a full price offer. And I think we're looking to make like 40 grand on it. So by going to Facebook Marketplace, reaching out to a seller and asking them a series of questions, we were able to get a deal for free. Literally as free as you can get. Lastly, this is a creative one, and we actually are doing this right now with somebody. It is a free lead form for you, right? But you still need a paid portion to be able to get these leads. So what we did recently was, instead of us pouring more money into our paid ads, we said, why don't we offer our expertise, which is closing deals, providing our team services, because we JV with people all the time. Why don't we provide that to somebody and say, hey, if you have the cash for marketing, I'll handle all the leads that come in. So technically they are free leads to you. You're not shelling out any cash out of your own pocket. So we partnered with this gentleman. He does direct mail and he cold calls. He fronts all the money. If we make any deals from it, we split the assignment fee. If we close on it, 60-40, right? So it's free for us. We make profit. We have no expenses tied to these leads, and we're helping somebody else out. So that is another great lead form. There's a ton of people out there who have the cash. They just don't know what to do or don't have the time. So if you have the time and you have the knowledge, capitalize on it. And that's the best thing to do. And then one last free marketing source. I gave you guys 8 today. So the last one that I find very, very, very effective is actually, and I'm going to be honest with you, this is pretty old school, but I literally, when I drive around sometimes, if I'm going on a long trip or if I'm going to be driving through the city, I take one of those paint markers where you can write on your car window and it comes off. I've gotten so many calls from that. It's actually ridiculous. I would never think that. And then when I started doing it, I would get calls left and right, left and right, left and right. And what we did was we just opened up a Google Voice number just for that. And it works. Some of the leads, they're just asking questions. They think maybe you even have a house for rent, so you can get tenants that way. But we have gotten so many leads from that. We've made a few deals here in Philadelphia. We've made a couple, actually that's how we made a deal in South Jersey a few months ago. That was a subject to deal as well. And again, it's just getting creative with your marketing strategies. Now, the more that you scale, the more that you grow, you may need to start spending money on marketing, but it is the best way to get started is by doing free lead sources. So with that being said, guys, I just wanted to hop on. I wanted to give you guys some inside knowledge of exactly what it is we're doing. There is no secret sauce. It's literally just using what we're doing, but actually putting into action and then knowing exactly how to talk to the sellers when that comes through. Because you can get all the leads you want, but if you don't know how to talk to them, that's going to be the hardest part. So what we can do from here, guys, is this. What I'd love to do is I'm going to try and do these every week where we're going to hold a free webinar. So just watch out on my Facebook, as you guys obviously are for the people that did come. And what I want you to do is every time you see something, subscribe, join, and we'll have the free webinar. And what I'm going to do is every week we're going to have a different topic. If you guys have any topics you want me to go over, after we hop off, just inbox me on Facebook and I'll just keep tab of it. And if I have knowledge to give on that topic, I will. If not, I'll let you know, hey, look, this is the lineup. This is what's coming next. But we'll go from there, guys.